on that exhibit. So I've asked my technician to assist us with the binning of that footage.
Yes.
And in your comments and your observation, you said that the ID kit on the left bears a stark resemblance to the photo, which is photo 4 of exhibit DD4B, correct?
That is correct, my lord. But to qualify that, my lord, I said strong resemblance, not exact. So not in the context of say it's sort of like a split. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And a particular feature or characteristic that led you to conclude that these two images bear strong resemblance to each other was the so-called O-type beard on the ID kit, correct?
Not necessarily that, my lord. It's the shape of the face in terms of how it looked like. Because the court will recall that when I testified and said I confronted accused number 2 back on the 18th of June 2020, it was on the basis that I said I see similarities between him and this identikit. So, and at that time we're not dealing with the issues of the O-shaped beard. It was my view that the identikit resembles him, and hence I confronted him according to my observation.
Now, before I go any further, the court then asked you, when was this identity kit compiled? And then you stated that it was on the 29th of October 2014, that is 3 days after the occurrence of the incident. Do you recall that?
Yes, I do recall that, my lord.
And you were specifically referring to the ID kit on the left here. That was compiled on the 29th of October 2014.
That is correct, my lord.
Now, let me ask you this. Didn't you, on the 16th of June 2020, make a further request to Warrant Officer Steenkamp to the effect that she must make additions to an image of a person of interest by adding dreadlocks and it was dreadlocks, let me see, a hoodie on the 26th of June 2020. Do you recall that?
Date? 26th or 16th?
Sorry, it's the 16th of June 2020.
Oh my goodness, this was so brilliantly set up, okay? It's like setting up a mousetrap. The brigadier walked straight into it, non-suspecting, okay? Basically, and you already know, he said, no, I didn't say the same. I said resembles. And Attorney Ramosepele, knowing where he was going, said, no problem, we can go with resembled. Is that going to make you happy, brigadier? Okay, no problem. We'll say resembled. Now, then, when was this original ID kit drafted? Oh, on the 29th of October 2014. So there's absolutely no way that the brigadier targeted Bongani Nicholas Gininda. No, there's absolutely no way that the brigadier targeted Bongani and Mzansi. And he makes a point to say that because he says, I met accused number 2 on the 18th of June 2020. Now, do you see how these dates are playing? This is what the brigadier puts on the record. And then Ramosepele comes through, okay? And he says, okay. The brigadier says that on the 18th of June 2020, that's the first time he laid eyes on Bongani Mzansi. And at that time, okay, he only compared Bongani Mzansi with the identikit just by facial expressions. Looking at his face with his naked eye. And that there were no dreadlocks, okay, at that time. Then Ramosepele brings this forth and says, so, on the 16th of June, did you not say, on the 16th of June, did you not make a request to Warrant Officer Steenkamp that she must make additions to an image to a person of interest by adding dreadlocks and a hoodie? How is the brigadier going to walk out of this? Because he is already inside, Pagati within the trap. Oh, let's go. Brilliant, Ramosepele. That was brilliantly done. Without missing a beat, without being overly dramatic, just stating the facts, making the brigadier repeat himself. He repeats himself, he makes his corrections, and then boom. As you can see, just in case you haven't already realized, the 16th of June is first the request. Can you add the dreadlocks? Can you add the hoodie to the identikit? And then jiggy jiggy, 17th, 18th. Ah, now you're in a parking lot with Bongani Dance. How convenient. What a magnificent investigator you are.
But if you're a dirty cop and you're out there, my warning to you is watch this space, because if you're a dirty cop and you're out there, we're coming for you.
No, I don't recall, Malet. Perhaps if I can be referred to that statement. I do recall that at some stage I asked Warrant Officer Steenkamp to do some alterations insofar as accused number 1 is concerned, to see if he fits the person with the dreadlock. So perhaps if I can be referred to the portion that Mr. Ramosepele is referring to. Just
The
to remind
relevant
myself.
statement, Brigadier, and surely I'll assist you with that. It's A154.
A154.
Yes.
Yes, my lord, I do have A154. And I do confirm that indeed. I did ask, but now I must just check the date before perhaps I confirm.
Yes.
Yes, I confirm A1454, my lord, indicates the date of 16 June 2020. I can confirm it, my lord.
And Annexure 2 thereof, we have this photograph, which will be the exact same photograph that is displayed here. Annexure 2 of that statement of A154.
So I have a similar picture of the picture on the left, my lord, on page 2. I'm not sure if it says Annexure 2, but on my...
Oh, so sorry, it says page 2, Annexure A, sorry.
Correct, yes. Yes, then we do, we agree. Yes, we have the same picture.
And that person of interest that you requested Warrant Officer Steenkamp to compile a further additions of an ID kit was none other than Mr. Ntanzi, is that correct?
That is correct, my lord.
And coincidentally, the 16th of June 2020 is also the date upon which Mr. Ntanzi was arrested, correct?
Yes, that is correct, my lord.
And the witness who was involved in the compilation of this identity kit, adding dreadlocks and hoodie, was also the late Mr. Makaleni, correct?
Yeah, yes. Perhaps maybe answer the question, my lord, to say yes, Mr. Makaleni assisted in the identity kit that we see on the left. However, because this is correct, it's important to put the right context. If you go to page 3 of the same annexure, that statement, then you will see that the facial comparison that Warrant Officer Steenkamp did, it's not actually the picture that is there. So that was the identity kit that was indeed drawn on the 29th of October 2019. So she took this identity kit, compared it with the picture of accused number 2, and then she came out with this product. So it's different pictures, my lord, if I can show it to the court. So it's 3 different pictures. One in the middle, it was the current picture of accused number 2 at the time of his arrest. Then she took the identity kit of what was in the archives on the 29th of in her statement on the 29th of October 2014, and then out of that, in trying to compare or to link accused number 2 with this identity kit, she came out with this end product. So the end product of the exercise of the 16th of June 2020 is not this picture, but rather this particular one.
I don't know. I know that we have heard this all before. We've heard this version before. We've heard this version before. But hearing it now is quite shocking for me. So basically, let me break down what the Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda just said. He basically said they took Bongani Ntanzi's arrest picture, photo, and then they took the original identikit showing suspect 2 or suspect B. He took the 2 together, sent them to Warrant Officer Steenkamp and said, "Hello, Warrant Officer, can you make these 2 look the same? Or should I say, can you use Bongani Ntanzi's picture to improve your sketch? Make them match." I'm just going to leave it at that. You guys tell me in the comment section what you think about that. Yeah, because, wow, that is highly surprising.
Right, yes.
Just hold it like that so that everybody can see. I'll make it available to the court as well as an exhibit so that we can clear it up. If I understand you, Brigadier, on the left is the original identity kit of the 29th of October 2014, correct?
That is correct, my lord.
Bathi isithombe esikhonakala ehlangothini sokusasanye sokunxele ngabe yisona sithombe esadwetshwa ke esoqala futhi ngeqiniso ngelanga lanye 29 zaka-October ngonyaka 2014 athi ufakazi yebo kuyiqiniso lokho.
And in the middle, it's an extract from the current identity document of Mr. Ntanzi, correct?
Yes, my recollection, my lord, I may be wrong in terms of where it comes from, the ID or a photo, but it came to existence when he was arrested. The picture in the middle. So it could be, in my mind, I think it's the identity document with his picture. That's that. But I may be wrong if it's not the identity document. Maybe one of his pictures. But I can say it without a shadow of a doubt that it came from him, rather from either the identity document. I want to say the ID document, my lord, contrary to just a picture after he was arrested, my lord.
In fact, let me just confirm with you, because I did confirm with Mr. Ntanzi by looking at his ID that, in fact, that picture in the middle is an extract from his current South African identity document.
I will not dispute that, my lord. Hence, I'm saying I think it did indeed. In my mind, it was strongly leaning towards the ID document, my lord.
And then the last picture. And the last picture then will be the identity kit that was now adding the hoodie and the dreadlock hairstyle of the 16th of June 2020 by Warrant Officer Steenkamp, right?
Yes, so the last picture was the editing of what will this person in the middle look like with a hoodie. Yes, that's the essence of it, my lord.
On the identity kit first, I want you to point out the dreadlock hairstyle that then was transported to the picture of the ID kit of 16 June 2020 on this photo, on the original ID kit. Where are the dreadlocks?
Well, what looks like dreadlocks, my lord, I can't say with certainty because at this point, I think it's important to put into perspective, my lord. I will explain it, or I'll try to answer the best I can. But the difficulty, and that is the reality of the situation. This is an identikit. It's in black and white. This is a picture which is in color. So the reflection will never be 100% the same. So I think that should be important, because if I was having a picture identikit like this with these color features and having this picture taken from accused number 2 in the same features, I think you'll have a better reflection. But we're talking about two different features of the system that was used to reflect accused number 2. Yes, but of similarities, my lord, in relation to the question of the 16th of June. So if you look at picture number 3, and I'm standing under correction, my lord, yes, I'm saying the only thing that seems to be coming out is blackish, and hence I can't see all the way to the top, and that's why I'm saying I can't say it, because dreadlocks will normally start from the head. I'm unable to see what is contained up there. I only see these black things hanging out, my lord, like this, but I don't see what's happening on the head. But so that's why I'm saying that's the closest inference I can refer to insofar as the dreadlocks are concerned. But in the picture, page 3 of this photo, the product of what Warrant Officer Steenkamp was trying to compare, she does have this picture of accused number 2 does have the black things hanging on both sides, the left and the right hand side, my lord.
Okay, great. I think I understand what the brigadier is saying. I really, really think I do. And you know what? I have a perfect example for us to work with. Let us use this Brigadier Dineo, the youngest brigadier ever. Okay, she's in the Guinness Book of Records to be the youngest brigadier who has no firearm training. But you know what? Asikolapo. If you don't know who this brigadier is, just scroll. You'll see her picture and you can watch that video. Okay, but let me use her as an example. She is in court in the dock. Okay, in her bail application for corruption. And she is wearing a hat. Can you believe it? People can now wear hats in court. This is a first for me. But anyway, so she's wearing a hat, a woolen hat. And we, as the brigadier said, we cannot see what is going on at the top of the head underneath the hat, the woolen hat. So when we don't know if that is a wig, we don't know how the attachment is. We don't know if those are cornrows. We really don't know. We can only see the black things on both sides, left and right. That's exactly what the brigadier is trying to say. It's basically just because the sketch has a hoodie, he's not sure. He can't say for sure, but he can only see black things on the left and right hand side. Oh my goodness, guys. This is real court. Real. And this is a whole brigadier. That is his response. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, because he's been caught. What has he been caught doing? Saying that he didn't know Bongani Ntanzi, okay, at the time of his arrest, but Jiggy, okay, because he says he met Bongani Ntanzi only on the 18th. But surprise, surprise, what was he doing on the 16th? He was out sending requests for the sketches to be adjusted in the identikit. That is way too convenient for me. But let's continue listening on.
And Brigadier, let me say this. I agree with you. The things that you pointed on the left and the right of the face, that you say inferentially for you cannot say with certainty are dreadlocks. I also draw the same inference, and I'll tell you why. The person that described dreadlocks in respect of suspect B, or the second intruder that entered the house, is not any of the persons that were in the house. It's not Tumelo Madala, it's not Zandile Kumalo, the mother, Kelly Kumalo, Mtokozi Sitwala, and Longe Twala. It is the person that was on the outside, the late Magaleni. He's the first person to introduce the concept of suspect B having dreadlocks. Hence, dreadlocks are added on the initial identity kit. Are you agreeing with me?
Yes, insofar as the dreadlocks introduction, my lord, you will see that in Mr. Makaleni's statements, the people inside the house only do refer to suspect B, but there's no reference to him having dreadlocks, my lord. So I agree in that context, my lord.
Athi yebo ngihambisana
No, it's not what I said. They did speak about the second suspect. What I'm saying, my lord, is that they never, in my recollection, they never made reference of the second suspect having dreadlocks. So you find the introduction of the dreadlocks from the late Mr. Makaleni, but they do mention that there was suspect A and then there was suspect B, the people who were inside the house. That's my recollection, my lord.
athi lokho engikhumbulayo.
And when you were looking at similarities between the two images, you referred and pointed out at the O-type beard on both the images, correct?
That's correct, my lord.
Athi yebo ngisakhumbula.
And I take your explanation that although inferentially you can say the ID kit has got dreadlocks, but because of the color of the hoodie inside on the comparison photo, you cannot discern dreadlocks. I'll accept that. Let's look at the difference. The so-called soul patch, you remember I told you about that? That's a beard between the lower lip and the chin. Is it present in both the ID kit and the comparison photo?
No, it's not there, my lord, but it needs to be taken into context, as I've said, my lord, that the identification or the similarities, according to my observation that I see and which I saw back on the 18th of June 2018 when I confronted accused number 2, is based on how in my view, I think it looks like in relation to the identikit. And now when I was comparing the two photos, I didn't say, my lord, in my evidence in chief that it is in relation to each and every feature that you find on the identikit and that you will find on the picture depicted on the left. I'm saying if I look at accused number 2, even now before court, and refer the identikit, for me, there is strong resemblance. And that is not to say now each and every picture, the eyebrows, insofar as, because, my lord, one is to note that it's not a picture, it's not a true reflection, a split reflection that was taken in 2014. It's not a picture. In other words, you don't have a camera image capturing accused number 2 as how we looked on the day of the offense when the state is alleging that he was there. It's an identikit. Now, next to it, it's not an identikit. It's a true picture in color of how it looks. So you will not have, that's why I'm saying you have two systems of how accused 2 is reflected. And that is a difficult if you want to compare a product that is generated from different systems, because the vision this side is not the same exactly as this side, my lord, meaning on the left and the right.
Okay.
No, I forgot. But the last part that I want to indicate, my lord, is that I am not a facial expert. So I will not be able to give facial similarities. I'm simply referring to what I observe, my outside, that when I look at the identikit and I look at accused number 2, insofar as we started back on the 16th June, this is what the reflection, the feedback I'm getting in terms of what I see on my mind shows me the similarities. But this is not to say I'm making now conclusive findings in terms of the facial features, because I do not have those expertise, my lord. I'm relying on my eyes.
Oh my goodness, how on earth did Ramosepele do this? Shololo is not even inside Pagati within the courtroom, but Ramosepele got a whole brigadier. Well, no, not just a whole big brigadier. To be specific, Brigadier Bongani Nicholas Gininda to literally say, I am not a facial expert. I do not have the expertise. I'm relying on my eyes. Why did that sound like music to me? Because, wow, he's caught in a lie. He's caught. He is caught. He is caught. And he has decided at this point, don't blame me for lying. Just say, I am not an expert. Well done. Well done, Ramosepele. Well done. But guys, if you've made it this far in the video, you know it took a lot to listen to all that the brigadier has to explain and re-explain and re-explain and play with words. So I hope you've hit that like button, because the like button absolutely helps the video, and it shows me that I should do a part 2 for you. So go ahead, hit that like button. I'll catch you on my next upload. I want to hear what you think about the brigadier, who is no longer an expert witness. Okay, he's just a guy relying on his eyesight. And don't take anything he says to heart, because there's no way he can give any differences or similarities between IDENTIKIT and the real ID photo for Obongani Danzi. That's just asking too much of the brigadier. Okay, that's way too much. Even though all along he's been telling us about inferences, what he sees, but suddenly, all of a sudden, he can't do this in this portion of his witness cross-examination. He's just relying on his eyes, guys, okay? He's just relying on his eyes. I'll simply be able to give what I observed. Oh my goodness. If you've made it this far in the video, you absolutely have my heart. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It absolutely helps the channel. It keeps us going, especially during this recess time, okay? Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on my next upload, but it depends all on you. Bye.